You're doing everything right, taking zinc, using good hair products, maybe even improving your diet, but your hair still isn't growing the way it should. It still feels thin, weak, slow. What if the missing piece isn't another supplement, but light itself? Not sunlight, not UV light, but a specific wavelength of red light that can literally switch your hair follicles back on. And when you combine that with zinc, something incredible happens. Hair follicles that were dormant start waking up. Hair that was weak starts growing thicker, and hair loss begins slowing down in a way most people never expect. Let me explain why this combination works so powerfully and why hair restoration experts are quietly using this exact synergy. First, you need to understand the real reason hair stops growing. Most people think hair loss is just hormones or aging or genetics, but those are only part of the picture. The deeper issue is energy. Your hair follicles are among the most energy-demanding structures in your entire body. Every single hair follicle needs constant fuel to produce strong, thick hair. This fuel comes from tiny energy factories inside your cells called mitochondria. When mitochondria slow down, hair production slows down. When mitochondria weaken, hair becomes thinner. And when mitochondria stop functioning properly, hair follicles go dormant. This is where red light therapy becomes incredibly powerful. Red light therapy works by penetrating into your scalp and directly stimulating the mitochondria. Specifically, red light in the range of about 630 to 670 nanometers and near-infrared light around 810 to 850 nanometers activates an enzyme inside mitochondria called cytochrome C oxidase. This enzyme is essential for producing ATP, which is the energy currency of your cells. When ATP increases, your hair follicles suddenly have the energy they need to grow hair again. Think of it like turning the power back on in a factory that had slowed down production. The machines were still there. They just didn't have enough energy to run at full capacity. Red light therapy restores that energy production, but here's where zinc becomes critical. And this is the part most people miss. Zinc is absolutely essential for hair follicle function. Zinc controls DNA synthesis, it controls cell division, it controls protein synthesis. And hair is made almost entirely of protein, specifically keratin. Without zinc, your hair follicles cannot build strong hair, no matter how much energy they have. Zinc also plays a major role in regulating oil glands in the scalp. When zinc is deficient, inflammation increases. The scalp becomes irritated, hair follicles become weaker, and inflammation is one of the fastest ways to shut down hair growth. But zinc does something else that's even more important. Zinc stabilizes mitochondria. It protects them from damage. It helps maintain their structure, and it supports the enzymes that allow mitochondria to produce energy efficiently. So now imagine what happens when you combine red light therapy with zinc. Red light therapy increases mitochondrial activity and energy production. Zinc ensures those mitochondria are structurally strong and able to sustain that energy production long term. Red light turns the engine on. Zinc strengthens and maintains the engine. This combination creates the perfect environment for hair regrowth. Another powerful benefit of red light therapy is improved blood circulation. When red light penetrates the scalp, it causes vasodilation, meaning it widens blood vessels. This allows more oxygen and nutrients to reach the hair follicles. And one of the most important nutrients delivered through the blood is zinc. So red light therapy not only activates follicles directly, it also helps deliver more zinc to those follicles. This creates a positive feedback loop. Red light improves circulation, bringing more zinc. Zinc strengthens follicles and mitochondria. Stronger mitochondria respond even better to red light. Hair growth improves further. There's also the effect on inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation in the scalp is a hidden cause of hair thinning. Red light therapy has powerful anti-inflammatory effects. It reduces inflammatory signals and helps calm the scalp environment. Zinc also has strong anti-inflammatory properties. It helps regulate the immune system and reduce inflammatory damage. Together, they create an environment where hair follicles can recover and grow normally. Another key factor in hair loss is something called follicle miniaturization. This is where hair follicles gradually shrink over time, producing thinner and weaker hairs until eventually they stop producing visible hair altogether. Red light therapy helps. reverse this process by increasing energy and stimulating growth signals in the follicle. Zinc supports the structural rebuilding of the follicle and ensures proper protein production. This is why many people notice thicker hair, not just more hair, when using this combination. Zinc also plays a role in balancing hormones related to hair loss. It helps regulate the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, which converts testosterone into DHT. Excess DHT can shrink hair follicles in people who are sensitive to it. Zinc helps moderate this process and reduce excessive follicle damage. Meanwhile, red light therapy increases growth phase duration. Hair grows in cycles. There's a growth phase, a rest phase, and a shedding phase. Red light therapy helps extend the growth phase, meaning your hair grows longer, thicker, and stronger before shedding. Another overlooked benefit is improved scalp tissue repair. Zinc is essential for tissue repair and wound healing. Red light therapy accelerates cellular repair processes. Together, they help restore damaged scalp tissue and create a healthier environment for follicles. Consistency is key. Red light therapy works gradually. Hair follicles need time to recover. Most people begin noticing reduced shedding within 4 to 8 weeks. Visible thickening often appears within 8 to 16 weeks. Significant improvement can continue for 6 months or longer. Zinc works alongside this process, ensuring your follicles have the raw materials needed to build hair. It's also important to understand that zinc deficiency is extremely common. Modern soil depletion, poor diet, stress, and inflammation all reduce zinc levels. Even if you're consuming zinc, absorption may be limited if your gut health isn't optimal. When zinc levels are restored, hair follicles regain their ability to function properly. This combination doesn't force hair growth artificially. Instead, it restores the natural function of your hair follicles. It removes the barriers preventing growth. It provides energy. It provides structural support. And it creates the conditions necessary for healthy hair production. This is why hair restoration clinics use red light therapy devices like laser caps and panels. They understand the importance of mitochondrial activation. And when combined with proper nutrition, especially zinc, the results can be significantly enhanced. The key takeaway is this: hair follicles don't die easily. They become inactive. They become energy deficient. They become nutritionally deficient. When you restore energy with red light therapy and restore essential nutrients like zinc, those follicles often recover. Hair growth is not just about what you apply to the scalp. It's about what you supply to the follicle at the cellular level. Red light provides the activation signal. Zinc provides the building material and protection. When these two work together, they create one of the most powerful environments for restoring healthy hair growth naturally. And for many people, this combination becomes the turning point where their hair finally starts growing stronger again. Most people think hair loss happens because the hair follicle is dead. They assume once hair stops growing, that follicle is gone forever. But in reality, in most cases, the follicle is still alive. It's just inactive. It's asleep. It doesn't have the energy required to produce healthy hair. And this is where red light therapy becomes one of the most powerful tools available, because it directly restores the energy system inside the hair follicle itself. To understand this, you need to understand the role of mitochondria. Mitochondria are tiny structures inside your cells. Their job is to produce energy in the form of ATP. ATP is the fuel that powers nearly every process in your body, including hair growth. Hair follicles are among the most metabolically active structures in the entire body. They divide rapidly, they produce keratin, they require constant protein synthesis. All of this requires massive amounts of energy. When mitochondria are healthy and active, hair follicles grow thick, strong hair. But when mitochondria slow down, hair growth slows down. When mitochondrial activity drops too low, the follicle enters a resting phase. Eventually, the hair becomes thinner, growth becomes slower, shedding increases, and over time, the follicle becomes dormant. This energy decline can happen for many reasons. Aging is one of them. As you age, mitochondrial efficiency naturally declines. Circulation can also decrease, which reduces oxygen delivery to the follicle. Nutrient deficiencies, inflammation, stress, and hormonal imbalances can all impair mitochondrial function. When this happens, the follicle simply doesn't have enough energy to sustain active growth. This is why red light therapy is so effective. Red light therapy works by delivering specific wavelengths of light that penetrate into the scalp and directly stimulate mitochondria. The most effective wavelengths fall within the red and near-infrared spectrum, typically between 630 and D 670 nanometers for red light and around 810 to 850 nanometers for near-infrared light. These wavelengths penetrate the skin safely and reach the hair follicles without causing damage. Inside the mitochondria is an enzyme called cytochrome C oxidase. This enzyme plays a critical role in the production of ATP. It helps transfer electrons during the process of cellular respiration, which is how energy is generated. When red light reaches this enzyme, it activates it. This activation increases electron transport efficiency. As a result, ATP production increases. This increase in ATP provides immediate benefits to the hair follicle. With more energy available, the follicle can resume active growth. Cells in the follicle begin dividing more efficiently. Protein synthesis increases. Keratin production improves. The follicle becomes stronger and more productive. Think of it like a factory that had slowed down due to lack of electricity. The machinery was still there, but it couldn't run at full capacity. Red light therapy restores the power supply. Once the power is restored, production resumes. Another critical benefit of red light therapy is its ability to improve blood flow. Red light stimulates the release of nitric oxide in the blood vessels. Nitric oxide causes vasodilation, which means it relaxes and widens blood vessels. When blood vessels widen, circulation improves. This allows more oxygen and nutrients to reach the hair follicles. Hair follicles require oxygen to produce energy. Oxygen is essential for mitochondrial respiration. Without sufficient oxygen, ATP production declines. By improving circulation, red light therapy ensures that follicles receive the oxygen and they need to function properly. Improved circulation also delivers essential nutrients such as amino acids, vitamins, and minerals that are required for hair production. These nutrients serve as the building blocks for keratin, which forms the structure of hair. Another powerful effect of red light therapy is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Oxidative stress occurs when there is an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants in the body. Free radicals can damage cellular structures, including mitochondria. This damage reduces mitochondrial efficiency and impairs hair growth. Red light therapy helps neutralize oxidative stress by improving mitochondrial efficiency and reducing the production of harmful reactive oxygen species. It also stimulates the production of antioxidants within the cells, which further protects the follicle. Inflammation is another major factor in hair loss. Chronic inflammation around the hair follicle can disrupt its function and push it into a resting phase. Inflammatory signals can damage the follicle and impair its ability to produce hair. Red light therapy has strong anti-inflammatory effects. It reduces inflammatory markers and promotes healing. This creates a healthier environment around the follicle and allows it to function normally. Hair grows in cycles. There is a growth phase called anagen, a transition phase called catagen, and a resting phase called telogen. In healthy hair, most follicles are in the anagen phase, but in hair loss, more follicles enter the telogen phase. This means fewer hairs are actively growing. Red light therapy helps shift follicles back into the anagen phase. It stimulates growth signals that encourage follicles to re-enter active production. It also helps extend the duration of the anagen phase. This allows hair to grow longer and thicker before shedding. Another important effect of red light therapy is its ability to improve cellular communication. Cells communicate using signaling molecules. These signals regulate growth, repair, and function. Red light therapy enhances these signaling pathways, which improves coordination within the follicle. This improved communication allows the follicle to repair itself more effectively. Damaged cells can recover. Weak follicles can regain strength. Dormant follicles can reactivate. One of the most exciting aspects of red light therapy is that it addresses the root cause of follicle inactivity. Instead of forcing growth artificially, it restores natural cellular function. It improves energy production. It improves circulation. It reduces inflammation. It enhances repair. This is why results improve gradually over time. The follicle is not being forced into growth. It is being restored to normal function. Many people first notice reduced shedding. This happens because follicles remain in the growth phase longer. Hair becomes more stable. It doesn't fall out as easily. Next, people notice improved hair thickness. Individual hair strands become stronger. They become more resistant to breakage. Over time, dormant follicles begin producing new hair. These hairs may initially be thin, but as the follicle becomes healthier, the hair becomes thicker and stronger. Consistency is essential. Red light therapy works through cumulative effects. Each session improves mitochondrial function slightly. Over time, these improve NTS add up. The follicle becomes stronger and more productive. Most people use red light therapy several times per week. Sessions typically last between 10 and 20 minutes depending on the device. Over weeks and months, mitochondrial function continues improving. Another important benefit is that red light therapy is non-invasive. It does not damage the skin. It does not rely on chemicals. It works by stimulating natural biological processes. Hair follicles respond particularly well to red light therapy because they are close to the surface of the skin. This allows light to penetrate effectively and reach the target tissue. Red light therapy also helps improve scalp health. It promotes tissue repair. It improves skin quality. It supports collagen production. A healthy scalp provides a better environment for hair growth. Collagen is important because it supports the structure around the follicle. Strong structural support helps maintain follicle integrity. Stress is another major factor that can impair mitochondrial function. Chronic stress increases cortisol levels. Cortisol can suppress energy production and impair follicle function. Red light therapy helps counteract some of these effects by improving mitochondrial resilience and reducing inflammation. Age-related hair loss is strongly linked to mitochondrial decline. As mitochondrial function decreases, follicles become less active. Red light therapy helps reverse this decline by restoring mitochondrial efficiency. Another important factor is stem cell activation. Hair follicles contain stem cells that are responsible for regenerating the follicle and producing new hair. Red light therapy stimulates these stem cells. This helps initiate new growth cycles. This is one of the reasons red light therapy can help reactivate follicles that have been inactive for long periods. The key principle is simple. Hair growth requires energy. Mitochondria produce that energy. Red light therapy restores mitochondrial function. When mitochondria are active, follicles grow hair. When mitochondria are weak, follicles stop producing hair. Red light therapy restores the conditions required for natural hair growth. It doesn't override the body's natural systems. It enhances them. It strengthens them. It restores balance. This is why hair restoration experts use red light therapy as a foundational treatment. It targets the core biological process responsible for hair production by restoring mitochondrial energy, improving circulation, reducing inflammation, and stimulating growth signals. Red light therapy helps reactivate dormant follicles and extend the hair growth phase. This creates the conditions necessary for thicker, stronger, healthier hair to grow again naturally. Zinc is one of the most overlooked nutrients when it comes to hair growth. Yet it plays a central role in nearly every biological process that allows your hair follicles to function properly. Without adequate zinc, hair follicles weaken, slow down, and eventually stop producing healthy hair. What makes zinc so powerful is that it doesn't just support one part of hair growth, it supports the entire system. From the DNA level inside the follicle, to protein production, to inflammation control, to mitochondrial stability. To understand why zinc is so critical, you first need to understand what your hair follicle is actually doing. A hair follicle is not just a passive structure. It is one of the fastest dividing tissues in the human body. Hair follicle cells divide rapidly to produce the hair shaft. This rapid division requires constant DNA replication. Every time a cell divides, it must copy its DNA perfectly. Zinc is essential for this process because it is required for the function of enzymes involved in DNA synthesis and repair. Without zinc, cells cannot divide efficiently. This means the follicle cannot produce new hair cells at the proper rate. As a result, hair growth slows down. The hair shaft becomes thinner. Over time, the follicle weakens. Zinc is also essential for protein synthesis. Hair is made primarily of a protein called keratin. Keratin gives hair its strength, structure, and thickness. In order for hair follicles to produce keratin, the body must assemble amino acids into strong protein chains. Zinc activates the enzymes responsible for this process. Without sufficient zinc, keratin production becomes inefficient. The hair becomes weaker, thinner, and more fragile. This is why zinc deficiency is often associated with brittle hair, thinning hair, and increased shedding. But zinc's role goes even deeper. Zinc is essential for maintaining the health and stability of mitochondria. As you learned earlier, mitochondria are responsible for producing the energy required for hair growth. Zinc helps protect mitochondrial membranes from damage. It stabilizes their structure. It also supports antioxidant systems that prevent oxidative damage inside the mitochondria. When zinc levels are low, mitochondria become more vulnerable to damage. Their ability to produce energy declines. Hair follicles lose the energy required to sustain growth. Another critical function of zinc is its role in controlling inflammation. Chronic inflammation around the hair follicle is one of the major hidden causes of hair thinning and hair loss. Inflammation disrupts normal follicle function. It damages follicle cells. It interferes with growth signals. Zinc acts as a natural anti-inflammatory agent. It helps regulate immune responses. It reduces the production of inflammatory chemicals that can damage hair follicles. By controlling inflammation, zinc helps create a healthier environment where follicles can function normally. Zinc is also essential for maintaining the health of the scalp. The scalp contains oil glands called sebaceous glands. These glands produce sebum, which helps moisturize and protect the scalp and hair. Zinc helps regulate sebum production. When zinc levels are balanced, sebum production remains healthy. When zinc is deficient, sebum production can become abnormal. The scalp may become too dry or too oily. Both conditions can negatively affect hair follicles. Excess oil can clog follicles. Dryness can weaken the scalp barrier. Zinc also plays a major role in protecting hair follicles from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress occurs when harmful molecules called free radicals damage cells. Hair follicles are particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress because of their high metabolic activity. Zinc supports antioxidant enzymes such as superoxide dismutase. These enzymes neutralize free radicals and protect follicle cells from damage. This protection helps maintain follicle strength and longevity. Another extremely important function of zinc is its role in hormone regulation, especially related to DHT. DHT, or dihydrotestosterone, is a hormone derived from testosterone. In individuals who are sensitive to DHT, this hormone can shrink hair follicles over time. This process is called follicle miniaturization. Miniaturized follicles produce thinner and weaker hair. Eventually, they stop producing visible hair altogether. Zinc helps regulate the enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. This enzyme converts testosterone into DHT. By helping regulate this enzyme, zinc helps prevent excessive DHT formation. This reduces the stress placed on hair follicles. This doesn't eliminate DHT completely because DHT has important functions in the body, but zinc helps maintain a healthy balance, preventing excessive follicle damage. Zinc is also essential for tissue repair. Hair follicles undergo constant wear and tear. They need to repair themselves regularly. Zinc supports the enzymes involved in cellular repair. It helps damaged cells recover. It helps maintain the structural integrity of the follicle. This repair function is especially important if the scalp has experienced inflammation, irritation, or damage. Another critical function of zinc is supporting stem cells within the hair follicle. Hair follicles contain specialized stem cells that are responsible for regenerating the follicle and initiating new growth cycles. Zinc helps maintain the function of these stem cells. Without proper stem cell function, follicles cannot regenerate effectively. This means zinc is essential not only for maintaining existing hair, but also for initiating new hair growth. Zinc also plays a role in maintaining proper immune balance. When the immune system becomes overactive, it can attack hair follicles. This occurs in certain types of hair loss. Zinc helps regulate immune responses and prevent excessive immune activity that could damage follicles. Another important factor is circulation. While zinc does not directly increase blood flow, it supports the health of blood vessels and cellular metabolism. Healthy cells utilize oxygen and nutrients more efficiently. Zinc deficiency is more common than most people realize. Modern diets often lack sufficient zinc due to soil depletion, food processing, and poor dietary habits. Stress also increases zinc depletion. Chronic stress causes the body to use more zinc, reducing available levels. Digestive issues can also impair zinc absorption. Even if zinc intake is adequate, poor gut health can reduce absorption efficiency. When zinc levels drop, hair follicles are among the first structures affected. This is because hair growth is not essential for survival. When the body experiences nutrient deficiency, it prioritizes vital organs over hair follicles. As a result, hair growth slows down or stops. Restoring zinc levels helps reverse this process. Hair follicles regain access to the nutrients required for proper function. DNA synthesis improves. Protein production increases. Mitochondrial stability improves. Inflammation decreases. Over time, follicles become stronger and more productive. Many people notice reduced hair shedding once zinc levels are restored. This happens because follicles become more stable. Hair remains anchored more securely. Hair thickness also improves. Stronger keratin production results in thicker hair strands. Hair growth speed can also increase because follicle cells divide more efficiently. Another important benefit of zinc is improved scalp condition. A healthy scalp provides the foundation for healthy hair growth. Zinc helps maintain proper scalp balance. It is important to understand that zinc works at the foundational level. It does not force hair growth artificially. Instead, it restores the biological processes required for natural growth. Hair follicles function best when they have sufficient energy, proper nutrient support, minimal inflammation, and healthy cellular repair mechanisms. Zinc supports all of these systems. Zinc also helps maintain the structural proteins that support the follicle. This structural integrity is essential for long-term follicle survival. Over time, consistent zinc sufficiency helps maintain healthier, stronger follicles that can continue producing hair efficiently. Hair growth is ultimately a reflection of cellular health. Zinc supports cellular health at every level. It supports DNA integrity. It supports energy production. It supports protein synthesis. It supports immune balance. It supports inflammation control. This makes zinc one of the most essential nutrients for maintaining strong, healthy hair follicles. When zinc levels are adequate, follicles function efficiently. They produce thicker, stronger, more resilient hair. When zinc levels are deficient, follicles weaken, shrink, and slow down. Restoring zinc levels helps restore the natural ability of hair follicles to grow healthy hair. This is why zinc plays such a critical role in hair restoration. It strengthens follicles from the inside out. It provides the foundation required for sustainable, long-term hair growth. Most people try to fix hair loss by focusing on just one solution. They take a supplement, or they use a device, or they apply a topical treatment. But hair follicles are complex living structures, and they require multiple conditions to function properly. They need energy, they need nutrients, they need oxygen, they need a low inflammation environment, they need proper repair mechanisms. When even one of these factors is missing, hair growth slows down or stops. But when you combine red light therapy and zinc, you restore multiple critical systems at the same time. This is what creates the powerful synergy that hair restoration experts rely on. To understand this synergy, think of your hair follicle like a factory. Red light therapy turns the power on inside the factory by stimulating mitochondrial energy production. Zinc provides the raw materials and structural support that allow the factory to produce strong, high-quality hair. One activates the system, the other strengthens and sustains it. When both are present, the follicle can operate at full capacity. Red light therapy works by stimulating mitochondria to produce more ATP, which is the energy currency of your cells. This increased energy allows hair follicle cells to divide faster, repair themselves more efficiently, and produce stronger keratin. But energy alone is not enough. The follicle also needs the proper nutrients to build hair. This is where zinc becomes essential. Zinc enables protein synthesis, DNA replication, and cellular repair. So while red light provides the energy for growth, zinc provides the building blocks and enzymatic support required to use that energy effectively. One of the most powerful ways this synergy works is through improved nutrient delivery. Red light therapy increases blood circulation in the scalp. It causes blood vessels to relax and widen, which allows more oxygen and nutrients to reach the follicle. This increased circulation enhances the delivery of zinc directly to the follicle. Even if zinc levels in the body are adequate, poor circulation can limit how much actually reaches the follicle. Red light therapy solves this problem by improving nutrient transport. As more zinc reaches the follicle becomes stronger. Its cellular repair systems improve. Its protein production increases. Its structural integrity improves. This makes the follicle more responsive to red light therapy. The healthier the follicle becomes, the more effectively it can use the energy produced by mitochondria. This creates a reinforcing cycle. Red light therapy improves circulation and mitochondrial activity. This allows zinc to be delivered more efficiently. Zinc strengthens the follicle and supports mitochondrial stability. Stronger mitochondria produce more energy. This increased energy further improves follicle function. Another important aspect of the synergy is inflammation reduction. Inflammation is one of the most common hidden causes of hair thinning. Chronic inflammation damages follicle cells. It disrupts growth signals. It weakens the follicle structure. Red light therapy reduces inflammatory signals by improving cellular repair and reducing oxidative stress. Zinc also reduces inflammation by regulating immune activity and supporting antioxidant defenses. When both are used together, inflammation decreases significantly. This creates a healthier scalp environment where follicles can recover and grow normally. Inflammation also restricts blood flow. When inflammation decreases, circulation improves even further. This allows even more oxygen and nutrients to reach the follicle. Another key factor in hair restoration is reversing follicle miniaturization. Miniaturization is the gradual shrinking of hair follicles over time. As follicles shrink, they produce thinner hair. Eventually, they stop producing visible hair. Red light therapy helps reverse miniaturization by stimulating mitochondrial energy production and activating growth signals. Zinc supports this process by enabling proper protein synthesis and cellular repair. It strengthens the follicle structure and supports tissue rebuilding. This combination allows follicles to gradually regain their original size and function. As follicles recover, hair becomes thicker and stronger. Another powerful benefit of combining red light therapy and zinc is improved stem cell activation. Hair follicles contain stem cells that are responsible for generating new hair growth. These stem cells require both energy and nutrients to function properly. Red light therapy stimulates stem cell activity by increasing mitochondrial energy production. Zinc supports stem cell function by enabling DNA synthesis and cellular replication. Together, they create ideal conditions for stem cells to initiate new growth cycles. This is especially important for follicles that have been dormant for long periods. Dormant follicles often still contain viable stem cells. They simply lack the energy and nutrient support required to reactivate. Red light therapy and zinc provide both. Another important aspect of this synergy is oxidative stress reduction. Oxidative stress damages follicle cells and mitochondria. This damage weakens hair growth. Red light therapy improves mitochondrial efficiency and reduces the production of harmful free radicals. Zinc supports antioxidant enzymes that neutralize these free radicals. Together, they protect the follicle from ongoing damage. This allows the follicle to recover and function normally. Red light therapy also improves the duration of the hair growth phase. Hair grows in cycles. The anagen phase is the active growth phase. In hair loss, this phase becomes shorter. Hair sheds sooner and grows less. Red light therapy helps extend the anagen phase. Zinc supports the cellular processes required to sustain this extended growth phase. This allows hair to grow longer, thicker, and stronger. Another important benefit is improved tissue repair. Hair follicles undergo constant stress and damage. Zinc is essential for tissue repair and cellular regeneration. Red light therapy accelerates cellular repair processes by increasing energy availability. Together, they help repair damaged follicles more efficiently. This improves follicle survival and long-term growth potential. Hormonal balance is another area where zinc plays an important role. Zinc helps regulate enzymes involved in hormone metabolism, including those related to DHT. Excessive DHT activity can weaken follicles in individuals who are sensitive to it. By helping regulate hormone balance, zinc reduces stress on follicles. This allows red light therapy to work more effectively. A less stressed follicle responds better to mitochondrial stimulation. Another key benefit of this combination is improved scalp health. Red light therapy improves skin quality and supports collagen production. Zinc supports skin repair and immune balance. Together, they create a healthier scalp environment. A healthy scalp provides the foundation for healthy follicles. Follicles embedded in healthy tissue function more efficiently. Consistency is essential for this synergy to work. Hair follicles recover gradually. Each red light therapy session improves mitochondrial function slightly. Each day of proper zinc support strengthens cellular function. Over time, these improvements accumulate. Many people first notice reduced hair shedding. This happens because follicles become stronger and remain in the growth phase longer. Hair becomes more stable. Next, people notice improved hair thickness. Hair strands become stronger and more resilient. Eventually, dormant follicles begin producing new hair. This new hair becomes thicker over time as follicle health continues improving. This synergy works because it addresses both energy and structural support. Red light therapy restores energy production. Zinc restores structural and biochemical support. Hair growth requires both. Energy without nutrients cannot sustain growth. Nutrients without energy cannot drive growth. Together, they restore the complete biological system required for healthy hair production. Another important factor is mitochondrial protection. Red light therapy activates mitochondria. Zinc protects mitochondria from damage. This ensures long-term mitochondrial stability. Stable mitochondria provide consistent energy production. This supports continuous hair growth. Hair restoration experts understand that hair growth depends on cellular health. They focus on restoring cellular function rather than forcing artificial growth. Red light therapy and zinc work with the body's natural systems. They enhance natural biological processes. This makes the results more sustainable. Over time, follicles regain strength. Growth cycles normalize. Hair becomes thicker, stronger, and healthier. This combination creates an optimal environment for follicle recovery. It restores energy. It restores nutrient support. It reduces inflammation. It improves repair. It improves circulation. All of these improvements work together to reactivate dormant follicles and restore healthy hair growth. This is why the synergy between red light therapy and zinc is so powerful. It addresses the root biological causes of hair thinning and follicle inactivity. Instead of targeting just one aspect of hair growth, it restores the entire system. When follicles receive both the energy stimulation from red light therapy and the structural support from zinc, they regain their ability to function at full capacity. This allows the natural hair growth process to resume, producing thicker, stronger, healthier hair over time.